Hello students, I'm Himani Sharma, your educator. I warmly welcome you all on our YouTube channel where we in today's video are going to move forward with the two prominent figures which are associated with the literary school that we know by the name Marxist literary theory. So we have discussed these things, and if I try to recall certain facts that are related to Marxist literary theory, these two people would be the founding fathers, or if not the founding fathers, then we can say that the ideas that they propagated, especially Marx, and then Engels, who was also influenced from Marx, had certain works finished by Marx when Marx died and passed away. We know that these people were somewhere or the other trying to look at the literary works. अगर हम Marxist literary theory को अपने literary works में लगाते हैं, we see that how through a Marxist lens we can see that how the economic productions of any society, they can lead to some sort of changes, some sort of influence that can be seen in the cultural production of that time, right? So these two figures I told you because these are the major proponents of the movement or the area that we call as Marxism. And Marxist literary theory is how we apply the ideas of Karl Marx into the works that we study in the field of literature. How do we view it with some sort of consciousness, some sort of false consciousness, I would rather say, which is some sort of a term coined by Engels, and how ideology and other things, they do work together to amalgamate together and produce something which is profitable for the person जो कि power में होता है, ठीक है? So we will be dealing as in the previous videos, what I have tried to do with each and every literary theory school is that I have tried to provide you guys with the major theorists and the major works or terms which are associated with those theorists. So the same case would go here and as well. So you should grab your pen, paper, notebooks, etc. to make your crisp short notes from here, which you can easily revise when preparing and revising, I would rather say, for your examination, right? So first of all, introduction to Karl Marx here. He was born in 1818, right? Revolutionary figure, sociologist, historian, and an economist. He co-authored the book named The Communist Manifesto with Friedrich Engels in the year 1848. Now, these are certain facts which are important for any student of English literature to note down that yes, of course, these two people work together. That's why the very video that I'm bringing forth here, talking about the tenets that are associated with both of them related to Marxism. That's why they both go hand in hand, because Engels was one such person when Marx died, और उनके कुछ works जो थे, they remain unfinished. So Engels completed those works because both of them held the same point of view. They held the same opinion about things, the mass production, the literature, the art, the science, society, how both of them are influential to one another, right? He also authored the book Das Kapital, which is a foundational work for Marxism, where he tries to talk about capitalism, which is somewhere or the other, which tries to exploit the marginalized people unintentionally or intentionally, just to benefit or profit for its own sake, right? So he has authored that particular book as well. He has an enduring impact on sociology, pol science, and philosophy. So if you read him here, even in the classes of English literature, this particular person, this particular theorist is going to be helpful in other theories as well, because he was related with the study of society, how things are produced, how ideology is spread and all, how in the field of political science and philosophy also he works as a major proponent. Now, the magnum opus of Marx is by the name Das Kapital, right? In English, it is known as Capital. Comprehensive critique of the political economy, unfinished at Marx's death. This was the book which was taken up by Engels, but laid the groundwork for understanding capitalism's contradictions. Explores, what does it explore? It explores labor. the thing that I talk about when I say the terms like proletariat, bourgeois, how there are haves and have-nots, people who have things, people who possess things, and people who don't. So how he tries to give us this significant difference between the people who have things and who are the have-nots, who somewhere or the other lack some sort of thing. So how labor is exploited, commodities, how even if we try to talk about any human being in that particular stance, if an actor tries to come and somewhere or the other promote any sort of product, endorse any sort of product, we think that yes, of course, maybe that actor or actress would be using the same shampoo, the same soap, the same liner, mascara, so on and so forth. So human beings are also turned into commodities just because the capitalistic society wants some sort of profit to be taken away, right? And capital, analyzing the capitalistic mode of production, how things are produced, how things are consumed, and how things are regenerated again for the culture, for the people who are consuming the things, and not just the things, the ideas and ideologies as well, right? So he talks about these things. He says that Marxism goes beyond economics. Why? Because it's not just about the economic production, it is not just related to financial stances, rather it also encompasses social structures, how society also gets shaped with whosoever comes in power. Historical development. I try to tell you this one thing which later on I'll also be touching upon. Raymond Williams, who's a very prominent Marxist, he will also give us three terms which are known by the name dominant, emergent, residual. Then how historically things, अगर मैं आज के टाइम की बात करूं, and if I try to talk about some day in the past, the development that took place, the history itself was different. So the way people ideologically are being suppressed in today's time might vary from from how they were being ideologically repressed in those times. So अगर मैं शेक्सपियर के टाइम की बात करूं और अपने टाइम की अभी बात करूं, we can draw two parallels between the historical conditions. Every time he says it's not just the money, the economic matters that are there in Marxism, but how the historical materialism, how the history of an era also tries to influence what is being consumed, what is being spread, what is being taken up by the people, etc. Right? And a revolutionary societal transformation. Why revolutionary societal transformation? Because Marxist ideas go like that people, somewhere or the other, when proletariats will be exploiting will be exploited by the bourgeois. Bourgeois are the people who will be in power, and proletariats will be exploited, who are the labor class people. They'll be exploited by the bourgeois. There will come a time जब जो है हमारे proletariat will become the bourgeois. This is some sort of a revolutionary transformation that I'm talking about. So let's just say if I try to talk about, on the upper hand, whosoever is in power, who is that? That's the bourgeois. And here, who is the working class here? That's the proletariats. If I try to talk about, there will be some time when the proletariats will know that they are being exploited and they will try to come here and they will reach here. But the bourgeois then would come at the position of the proletariat. This cycle will keep on moving ahead like that, right? So somewhere or the other, people will know at some point of time that they are being exploited, they are being brainwashed or manipulated. Emphasis on the class struggle. This is the class struggle that I was trying to tell you all about, and economic relations which are shaping the social and political systems of any era. Historical materialism, economic structure, Marx says, it determines the legal, political and social aspects. If we try to talk about these terms later on will be of very much prominence in the Marxist literary theory itself. Base and superstructure. Whatever the base produces, the superstructure consumes it, and of course, whosoever will be in the base with the material production in the hand, उनके हाथ में power होगी कि art, literature, education, science, schools, etc., what sort of ideology would be propagated there. So here he tries to talk about that thing only itself, that it is the economic structure determining the legal, political and social aspects. It will determine what type of laws will be made, it will be determined what type of politics will be, political systems would be established, and social aspects as well. Social existence shapes consciousness, not vice versa. If we live in a society, our society shapes our consciousness. We are not shaping the society, right? Marx's foundational hypothesis from the contribution to the critique of political economy, उनमें ये सारी चीजें जो मार्क्स है वो बात करते हैं, right? This is what I was trying to tell you about. Economic base, from where all the means of productions would be there, base, and then we have the superstructure. We have the figure like this, right? We have the figure like this. This is the base. It is always and always going to influence the superstructure. This would be the superstructure, right? So what would come in the base? What would come in the base? Base में हमारे means of productions आएंगे, everything related to economy. And superstructure would comprise of economic conditions, and the economic conditions which are being influenced, I would rather say economic conditions which are being influenced through the culture, right? Through the culture and all, through the culture and all. So everything, whosoever will be in power in the base, they will influence what culture would be spread, what type of education should be given, what laws are to be made, and what political system should be established and all, right? Cultural elements are shaped by the underlying economic conditions. So both of them, both these things, they go hand in hand. They are interdependent on one another. It illustrates the fundamental impact of the economic foundations on a society. Now, he gives us a term named ideology. What is an ideology? Set of ideas, ideology, set of ideas reflecting and justifying a social class's interests. What are they believing in? That is what is ideology. Ideology legitimizes existing social order. If somebody is in power, they are ideologically spreading whatever they feel is true, and the people are somewhere or the other जो हाथ जोड़ के believe कर रहे हैं that whatever the person, the thing, whosoever is in power, they are consuming the same thing. It will make sure that whatever class is existing, they will somewhere or the other उसको माथा टेक देंगे, right? So Marx and Engels introduced the term ideology in the work, the German ideology, and of course, I told you already that from terms in which books those terms have been coined, questions are asked. So please make sure that you note the third point down as well. Then we move forward. Ideology in Marxism is not neutral, but rather shaped by the dominant class interests. This is what I am telling you from the beginning of the video only. Whosoever would be dominating in a political sphere, in the societal sphere, he or she will be able to make a choice that what sort of society, what sort of education should be spread, should be propagated, right? Maintains control and power, masking the true class relation. Nobody talks about कि नीचे जो हमारे proletariats हैं, how are they being exploited? The person who is a bourgeois, who is the malik, he just wants some sort of work to be done, क्योंकि उसको profit बनाना है. He is not concerned with अगर वो इंसान अपने बच्चे को पढ़ाने के लिए पैसे नहीं जमा कर पा रहा, इसलिए भी वेजेस उसको कम फिर भी दिए जा रहे हैं. Nobody is concerned with what is being paid, but rather to see what product will reach to the market to make the profit much and more for the person in power, right? The German ideology is crucial in formulating Marxist understanding of ideology. Then these are the list of the major works of Marx. Here the term ideology has been coined. So what you can do is you can pause your videos here. You can note the works down, right? And please make sure the works which he has penned down along with Friedrich Engels वो आप लोग mention कर लें, ठीक है? The next thing that I have here is the second proponent of the Marxist literary theory. He is known by the name Friedrich Engels, a person who collaborated with Marx on the same thing, right? He was born on November 28, 1820 in Barmen, Prussia, close collaborator of Karl Marx, co-authored the Communist Manifesto that we have already noted down with Marx as well, edited the later volumes of Das Kapital after Marx's death. When Marx died, I told you already, because Das Kapital jo tha, it was an unfinished work, so it was taken up as a project, something to be finished by Engels. Significant role in shaping the socialist thought, and passed away on August 5th, 1895 in London. Right? Let's just move forward and see what terms has he coined. He has given us the term false consciousness. Coined by Engels in Marxist theory, refers to distorted understanding of one's own social and economic interest. You as the public of a country, you do not know, or you as a person, you do not know whosoever you have elected in power, somewhere or the other, is going to shape your ideology. And you feel that that consciousness is false. You feel that I have chosen the right person, the right thing, but it's not right. It's the false consciousness that is talking. So you are not aware that you are being exploited, you are being marginalized. That is what is meant by false consciousness, according to which is given by Engels here. It occurs when individuals adopt beliefs contrary to their material conditions. Whatever material conditions are there, unke contrary jaake you believe, and you do not know the reality, you do not know you are being exploited, you are being suppressed, you are being oppressed, right? People may hold idea against their best interest due to the dominant ideology. So whosoever will come in power, they will make sure that whatever they are spreading is being known to the public, and that is being accepted by the public at a better rate, right? So that is what is false consciousness. These are the major works that we have of Engels. Again, co-authored with Marx, you're supposed to note down. Works, Engels ke bhi aa jate hain, so you need to pause your video to make sure that you note them down. And I have tried to provide them in the chronological way possible, so that the things that you're noting down, wo aap log ki ek sequential manner mein jaye, right? So, that's all. This is what we had for this particular video. I hope things are clear. If you still have any doubts, you can drop down in the comment section below. I will try to reply for sure. Thank you so much for being here. Have a good day. Bye-bye.